Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today we'll be talking about responsible AI. So, a couple things to think about before we get into this. How is responsible AI defined? Why should we bother? Who does it impact and how? And who is responsible for regulating AI? So, what is responsible AI? It is the ethical and legal development and deployment of artificial intelligence, with the goal being to ensure that AI acts as intended, fosters moral value, and retains transparency and human accountability. It's needed here to minimize the potential harm to humans while also contributing to the betterment of society. Principles here being transparency, fairness, accountability, robustness, privacy, and sustainability. So, why? Well, by 2030, AI is projected to contribute $15.7 trillion to the global economy, as well as boost local economies' GDP by up to 26%. It's projected to have the greatest impacts in the automotive, financial services, aerospace, engineering, and manufacturing sectors. All this to say, whether we like it or not, AI is here to stay. Therefore, it's important that we take steps to mitigate the risk to the general population. Before we get into these steps, let's discuss an example of irresponsible use and deployment of AI to get a better grasp on why responsible AI should be the goal. A good example is AI disinformation, especially with the 2024 election being the first to play out in the era of widespread Gen AI. Generated disinformation has been all but impossible to ignore, with examples being images, deep fakes, and robocalls. So, what steps can we take? And a good example would be a plan proposed by the DoD Responsible AI Working Council in 2022. Uh, it proposed a couple ethical principles for AI, including responsible AI or RAI governance, warfighter trust, AI product and acquisition lifecycle, validation requirements, a responsible AI ecosystem, and an AI trained workforce, with the desired end goal being of trust, both with the end user and the general public. So let's talk about couple of steps taken so far. We have the Colorado AI Act, which creates some duties for the developers and for those that deploy AI. Some of these duties include the documentation of data sets as well as the steps taken to minimize risk and AI bias. California also enacted multiple bills as of September 2024, the Defending Democracy from Deepfake Deception Act, the Use of Likeness Digital Replica Act, the California AI Transparency Act, and the Generative AI Training Data Transparency Act. We'll note here that there is currently no comprehensive federal legislation in the US regulating the development of AI. So, a couple closing thoughts here. AI can do a lot of good for society, but we have to ensure that the correct steps are taken to foster trust by the general public. And I'll leave you here with a quote. With great power comes great responsibility, and with that responsibility comes in the form of security and privacy. This battle between data protection and business objectives is not new. Thank you.